For the past few weeks on my timeline, this company has been popping up a lot. And a lot of people are asking, is it a good investment? And the reason being that this company is selling its shares for 1 cent per share. A lot of people want to jump into saying that as soon as this company reaches 20 cents, reaches 50 cents, I'll make huge amounts of money from it. So I decided to make this video to explain penny shares. What are penny stocks and what are the pros or what are the cons for investing into them? So on today's video, we're diving deep into penny stocks and making sure that you can be able to understand how they work and the advantages and disadvantages of investing your money into them. But as always, guys, please do ensure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the notification bell and like this video. Let's get into it. Hello future millionaires and billionaires, welcome to the insightful and informative video right here on my YouTube channel. And for those who are new to my channel, my name is Ivan Sambo, and on my channel I'm dedicated on simplifying the world of investing, budgeting and saving for the average South African on the street. On today's video, we're talking about penny stocks. What are penny stocks and the advantages and disadvantages of investing your money into them? But as always, guys, I must put a disclaimer: I am not a financially registered advisor. None of my video constitute as financial advice, but only for educational purposes. So let's get into this video. What exactly are penny stocks? What's the definition of it? To be honest, there's no universal definition of what a penny stock is. But my understanding as the South African context is that a penny stock is basically a shares of a company that has a market cap of over 1.5 billion rand. Meaning that this company has its entirety market cap is only 1.5 billion rand, meaning all the shares and everything as per the listing of this company is 1.5 billion rand. Or other people say that a penny stock is any company between 50 cents to 10 rand. For me, because I love to simplify things for myself, I usually say any JSA or any stock market listed company that's under 10 rand per the South African context is a penny stock for me. And that's not a bad thing. I will explain more why it's not a bad thing. Because last year we saw companies such as the Paper Group, PPE, seeing its shares rising from 35 cents all the way to 108 cents sitting on today. Companies like PPC, the one that makes cement, its shares rose from 99 cents last year to today sitting at 160 cents. Companies like Alljoy, who saw an increase from 27 cents to, I think now that's saying 66 cents or 68 cents. Those companies are penny stock companies, but they saw growth. And people who haven't followed me for a while, haven't followed them, when I was tweeting about these companies a few months back, I think like 12 months back, or they were investing into these companies, they would have saw the growth of this company. And they're small companies. But today, I'm diving deep into what exactly do penny stock give and the opportunity that they allow. Because the reason why penny stocks are loved by people is because of three main reasons basically. Number one is the fact that they give you the opportunity of growth. Basically, you are buying into a company while it's still down, while it's still basically being new listed or is still growing. It doesn't have the capability to be huge like for example like Apple or Shoprite, Capitec Bank. They are still starting up. You're investing to them while they are still young, and as they grow, for example like the Paper Group as I mentioned in the beginning, when we invested into them and started investing into them, they were 36 cents per share, and now they're sitting at 1.80 rand per share. Meaning the company, the more this company grows, the more our wealth grows. Imagine if this company Paper Group in the next few years its shares are selling at this is just an example, are selling at 5 rand, and I bought in when this company shares were 36 cents. You see, this penny stock basically gives you the opportunity to grow with the company. And the other thing that penny stocks give you the opportunity is that they are low price, besides they are low cost. The example is with only 5 rand you can get tons amounts of shares in that company. As I made the example of Alljoy. Alljoy is company shares are going for 35 cents or 27 cents actually, not even 35 cents or 27 cents actually. And imagine if you had 5 rand, how many amounts of shares would have been you have got with only 5 rand. So they are low cost, they give you an opportunity to buy a huge amount of shares with low amount of money. And the more the company grow, the more you see growth yourself. And the other thing with a penny stock that they have, how can I put this? They give you fast growth. I know I mentioned growth before, but also take to account that they give you fast growth. For example, the minute that you buy the shares for 37 cents or 27 cents, for example, of Alljoy, or 35 cents in the example of People Group, at the second it reached 60 cents, you have already nearly doubled your investment. So that's fast growth, and most of the time that happens within a short amount of time. As I mentioned of People Group, in the beginning of the year last year, its shares was 35 cents. Sitting now in 2021, its share is 108 cents. Look at that difference. That's almost 3 times. That's almost 3 times the amount of money per share it was costing last year. So that's the advantages of investing into penny stock. That number 1, fast growth. Number 2, low cost. Number 3, the opportunity of growth, because now you're investing into this company before it becomes a huge thing, before even industrial investors dive deep and put their money into them. So that's the advantage of investing into penny stock companies. But the disadvantage of investing there is number 1, that it's very, very versatile. Like literally very, very, very versatile. So meaning that the second now you buy in now, the first, as I mentioned before, that you can buy the company, pay 35 cents with the example of People Group, and you can grow within a year to almost 3 times or almost 4 times the value that you purchase it on. That also the opposite can happen. It can go from 35 cents to actually 1 cent, like the example of the company I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So it very, very is a risky investment. And the other thing that penny stocks have is a disadvantage, that they have no income. When I talk about income, that they don't pay out, usually majority of them, I have never heard of a penny stock that pays out dividends. I have never heard of it. Majority of them don't pay out dividends. So you're only looking at capital growth only. No dividends paid. For example, companies like British American Tobacco Company are paying out dividends of almost 11 rand. But companies like PPE don't pay out any dividends. Any at all. The only way you make money is when the share price goes up. Nothing like that. So that's why when you're looking into investing to penny stocks, you must look at that. And also, I always say, penny stocks are for those people who are aggressive investors. People who are not afraid to take risks. People who are willing to go out there and take the risk that comes with it and jump. But if you're a conservative investor, do not try to put your money into penny stocks, because they'll give you a heart attack. Literally, you'll have a heart attack every single day, because like the second, for example, you buy it at, you buy it at 10 cents. The second it goes to 15 cents, you see increase of over 50% profit. The second it goes down to 9 cents, you've lost. So that's why it's always good to ensure that when you understand the type of investor that you are before you buy into penny stocks. And also myself, I hold my shares into PPC, and also I hold shares into the People Group. But remember, that's not financial advice to go buy those shares. Just me sharing the shares that are in my portfolio in relation to this video. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Ensure that you hit subscribe, and ensure that you're able to leave me a comment on what penny stock you are holding in your portfolio right now. Thank you so much, guys. As always, I am Ivan Sambo, your student investor.